Hi, this is a true story of loss, hope, joy, and transformation. And I thank everybody for tuning in, and I hope it brings some joy to those who view it. Because the journey to this earthly world is truly that. It's a journey, and we're not alone on it. And I'm going to tell this shortened version and try to focus on what's most important in this story. And I truly hope it brings some joy to people's hearts. And I'm just, my YouTube channel is just a child, it's just small, but if you know anybody that this resonates with, I hope you share it with them. And yeah, we'll get right at it then. So on January 28th, 2022, my dad left this world. He was my best friend, and as many of you people have experienced loss, you know the difficulty with that. But there's joy that comes from it as well. So for a couple of weeks after that, I talked to God a lot, and I cried a lot. And I cried out to God, or I cried out to my dad, or I cried out to both. Just saying, you know, I wish I could have done more, gave you a better run when you were here. But no, folks, that our control in this world is limited. And there is a big master in charge. Because after about 2 weeks of sadness, you know, I was plugging through everything, but the sadness was there. I had an extremely transformative experience. And I've only shared this with a handful of people. It's not something that you really talk about. And the handful of people that I shared it with have been very graceful in listening. And most recently, not too long ago, I shared it with somebody, and they were very graceful. And I knew I was going to share this on YouTube at some point. I just didn't know when. But due to some recent events, the time is now. And again, I hope this brings joy and comfort to people's hearts, because what happened was truly transformational, powerful, and amazing. So on the night of February 14th, a couple of weeks after my dad left, I laid down to sleep and still suffering, you know, from the loss. But partway through the night, I was awakened by an amazing force, an amazing presence, an amazing feeling that I can't even describe the power of. But it was my dad. He was there in the room. I felt him, or I felt God delivering a message for him. I don't know, I can't explain it, but it was beyond powerful and beyond real. I felt more alive than I've ever felt in my life. I felt more joyful. My room was filled with joy, undescribable. And I said, Dad, I know you're here. You don't have to go. It was amazing. Like I said, I can't describe it in words. But he called out. He said, son. He said, never forget this word. And I said, what, Dad? What? And he said, Mariposa. I never heard that word in my life, but he kept saying it out to me. Son, never forget this word. Mariposa, son. Mariposa. Don't forget. And I'm there, okay, Dad, okay. But you don't have to leave. You can stay. Stay here. Because it was such an amazing visit. Everything felt good. His energy, the positive love and energy that filled the room, I can't describe. So anyway, I did drift back off to sleep, or to whatever state I went back into. And sometime later, I was awakened again, or I was taken into another realm. Like I said, I can't describe it in words. And it was again, son, don't ever forget this word. Mariposa, son. And he just kept on reaffirming it over and over and over again. I never heard this word in my life. I didn't even know it was a word. Anyway, he kept saying it, Mariposa, son, Mariposa. And eventually, after the second visit, the spirit visit, second of the night, or I visited somewhere else, I was in another realm, I don't know how to describe it, but the presence of my dad was there, filling the entire room, his love, and I even felt him swish around and into his urn, like he was in there for a visit, and then he came back out. I don't know. Anyway, so that went on for quite some time. Eventually it dissipated and I drifted off to sleep. But in the morning when I got up, I couldn't forget this. I couldn't forget this experience. I couldn't forget this word. So I had to Google it in the morning. And I Googled Mariposa. And the first thing that came up in Google was Mariposa, Spanish for butterfly. So I was again taken aback, happy tears filled my eyes at that point, knowing that what I had experienced through the night, it really was very real. And so Spanish, my dad came to me and he told me, never forget the word Mariposa, son. Anyway, after that I looked up, I got fascinated with butterflies. Before that I was never that enthralled with butterflies. I knew they were a beautiful little creature, but it kind of changed my whole perspective on everything. And I did some research on butterflies and I found out, in every spiritual realm, butterflies are a symbol of change, rebirth, regrowth, transformation, all that good stuff. So I knew it was a message from God or from my dad or from the other side, from both of them, telling me that this is okay. I'm okay. You're going to be okay. Change is necessary and transformation is necessary. And as the butterfly grows, it starts out as a caterpillar and then it basically dies, but then it goes into a cocoon and it goes through metamorphosis and it's reborn and it becomes a butterfly. So the story of the butterfly is a beautiful one in itself. So it changed my perspective on a lot of things, butterflies in particular, and my wildflower garden that grew up. And there's been several other things that happened after that were amazing, massive events, unexplainable, paranormal, whatever you want to call them, supernatural, messages from God or messages from Dad or messages from both from the other side. So I just want everybody to know, folks, we're not in this journey alone. And if you're going through the loss of somebody, they're not gone. They're just gone somewhere else. And after that, I ended up naming my small, humble property redevelopment and rental company, just a humble little one-man operation. I named it Mariposa Properties. And that's the reason why. And now, whenever I see a girl with a butterfly, I always tell her it's beautiful, because butterflies are beautiful, but they're more than just a beautiful tattoo. And I would never get a tattoo of a butterfly, but I appreciate them. Anyway, folks, that's the short version of a big story. And I hope it brings some joy to some people in knowing that if you've lost somebody, they're not gone. They're just gone somewhere else. Keep your heart open, keep your spirit alive, and keep your soul free. Because this journey through this earthly realm is only a small portion of the bigger picture. Anyway, folks, if anybody wants to share their story, feel free to do so. And I'm going to include my cell number and my email address If somebody wants to share or talk about their powerful event like that, or reach out to me, feel free to do so. Again, like I said, I had several other things happen after that within a couple of months that were truly amazing. And that's all I got for this one, folks. And like I said, this is just a journey. Don't sweat the small stuff. And loss, hope, and happiness, and change, and transformation, they're all things that are meant to be. I'm sitting in a beautiful spot. You can probably hear the water running behind me. So I'm going to flip the camera around for a minute when I sign off. And that's about it for now, folks. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, look out for each other and be kind on this journey. And it's just a small step on to the next one. Thank you, folks. I'm going to flip the camera around if I can and show you where I'm at in this beautiful little spot. The old bridge there. I'm sitting on a rock, so I'll go around full circle to the edge of the cliff. That's not too much to see, but we'll go back around this way. Down there, the river. That's it, folks. And like I said, to the handful of people that did listen to my story, when the circumstances presented themselves for me to tell it, I never did set out with the intentions of it, but whatever circumstances led to it, thank you for anybody that's heard it on an individual level for your gracefulness. And if you hear it on this one, this is you helped inspire me to get it on YouTube. So thank you. Okay, have a great day.